everybody. Hey, Dolly. Good to see you. Yeah, I can't believe it. We're halfway through this. That means we're halfway through the month of April. My gosh. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're all safe as you're on your way home or however you're on your way, whatever you're doing. It's interesting. It says there's no, on my phone, my app says I have no messages. But I've got 2 from Dolly in there. Oh, YouTube has really been messing up a lot lately. You did? Cool. Awesome. Not too much pain today. That's perfect. I talked a lot about pain today. That is a subject I don't like to focus on. Is my body pain. I do a pretty good job of stuffing it away. As a matter of fact, I don't have a lot of room to stuff my emotions because of that. So, which is a good thing, you know? You need to feel your emotions. That's why we have them. It's, energy in motion. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. I have all the cards laid out in front of me here. And I'm looking at everything we've been through. Started so simple. It's starting to get tricky now. It's not tricky. I mean, it's not scary at the end either, but it's more things to make you think about. Like, notice and the awareness of your hands. Yeah, that one is one that when I saw that one pop up, I went, yeah, that one I don't have to focus on. Me too. I like how they just progress a little bit and a little bit each day. It's just a little more and a little more. And I hope everybody has been like keeping notes or journal or whatever, keeping track of what you're doing, what you've learned, because I've been applying all of this and I've had the benefit of knowing all 31. And this can be very much a life-changing experience if you really focus on doing the exercises like they say. Yeah, helps you focus more on staying in the moment. Stony Baker, hello. Mwah. How are you, my friend? You here to be mindful with us? Yeah, it's just being more aware of the simple things in our life, Stony has the prettiest new kitty. Oh, she's gorgeous. He's a pretty cat. I love his markings. You are. You're greedy. You're greedy. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Good to see you. Oh, he's a neat kitty. That was funny in your last night. I watched long enough to see you kissing and loving and hugging on him, and I went, yep. And the cat was looking at you like, dude, you better let me down. I'm going to grab that beard. I couldn't live without cats either, because I did for so long. Once I got to where I could have my own cat, nobody's going to tell me I can't have one. And I will pay whatever pet deposits you demand of me. Now I have my own home. I'm the one that charges pet deposits and I don't have roommates. So, you're climbing Mount Baker? Wait, no, Stony, wait, come back here. You're climbing Mount Baker, really? Oh, okay. Warden has a kitty, and now you have a kitty. That's cool. So apricot? Nectarine. Nectarine still hanging out? No, he is Mount Baker. Oh, what's his name? Kitty climbing you. That makes you Mount Baker. He's Mount Baker climber. Oh, I love it. That's funny. Yeah, tonight I'm not in any hurry to make sure we keep this to an hour. People can come and go as they please. I just kind of wanted to hang out for a while. Been a while, you know? And I thought, yeah, we can talk about what did you see in the sunrise or the sunset in that observation? Let's start with that one. I just thought I'd start with each card. We could talk. We have 17 cards we can talk about, including today's cause and effect. Yeah, that one's tough. I miss you too. I'm back though. I had to make 31 videos for this thing, for this project. So that's been keeping me super busy. Um, they're all done and for this project. And I actually got to do some resin yesterday for the first time since December because of my hand. So life's coming back. This is I got some details to put in there, but now it's solid. It's not in the mold anymore. It's resin. I showed it on my live stream on Monday. Oh, cool. The light's picking up the purple. Good. Because when I look at it with the blind eye is right, with the naked eye, it wasn't picking the purple in her hair. Cool. I figured I'd do one for every ethnicity. So here we have our redheads. I'm just going by hair colors. I'll do blondes. I was thinking I'll do a blonde and a brunette and probably silver hair. Don't you think we need a? Well, I guess that could be the blonde, but we all kind of turn silver. So I thought she would be a lot of fun, and then people could get them according to season. Like she's to me, reminds me of Autumn with her red hair and a golden green face. I got to put eyeball in there and some lips, and I over poured just a tiny little bit, so I have to sand all the way around that. But that's what fingernail files are for. Hand is good. Hand is good. Look at that. I'm shuffling cards and stirring resin now. And I stirred that by hand, by the way. I didn't cheat with my mixer. So that's the way to mix resin. But neat. Notice how quiet that is. That blows my mind. Anyway. The moon is bald. You happen to know? Bald men have more testosterone. Well, bald men are lucky. You kiss a bald man on the top of the head. You and I remember that conversation, Stony? You kiss a bald man on the top of the head. It's luck. It brings you luck. There was a guy in Stony's chat one time who was just bad mouthing girls. And I was like, okay, I can't stand this anymore. Stop, stop, stop. And I said, what do you mean? And he took his hat and said he couldn't get a date. And he said, would you date this? Took his hat off and he's bald. And I'm going, you ever see the dude that runs this channel you're talking on? He's got a wife. So I think he's got a date. Anyway, I told the guy, I was like, about the kissing a bald guy on the top of it. Oh, you don't have to suck up to me for me to get, what? To go out with me, something like that. Anyway, he sounded like a stupid incel. It was like no matter what the woman said, he didn't like women. So, okay, I take my kiss off the top of your head. Hey, Jess, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just waiting for a few more folks to come in. I love you, Stony. Oh, it's good to see you in here. It's good to be doing a live stream where I'm just yammering. It's not I mean, it's planned, but it's impromptu because it's you guys that are going to help me. Let me know, if you're doing this with me. I want to know what you found. Let's start one. Here's a good question. Was there one in the last 17 days that was your favorite? I'm going to giggle and tell you mine. Do you have one of the cards that was your favorite? How about I give you a little reminder? The first one we had was watch a sunrise or a sunset. Then next, we had mindful breathing. Then next, we had natural observation. Then we had mindful awareness, being mindful of putting your key in the lock and how that feels in your hand to feel the tumblers move and unlock the door. I love this one because this one is my favorite thing. Mindful listening. Music. If you listen to music, listen to a new song, one you never heard before, you know? Or make your own song. That's even better, but that's not really listening, is it? Mindful appreciation was the next one. Sit down with a cup of tea and look at the world around you and just be grateful for what you have. You have a roof on your head. Shoot, you can sit back and relax with a cup of tea in your hand. That's the first thing to be grateful for and to be appreciative about. The next thing we had, mindful immersion. I really like that gazing ball. I want that in my garden. Yours was the pinching exercise. Yeah, the tactile experience was a good one. Was that the pinching one? Yeah, pay attention to pain as it causes, how it radiates. That's this one. Now, when you look at that card, you're thinking, oh, how soft and pretty. It's a rose. And the task is telling you to pinch yourself and notice how it feels. Your sun porch is your favorite place with a cup of coffee. Next time you're out there, just really be one with that cup of coffee. When you're putting it, if you add sugar or cream, or even if you don't, when you stir it, how does it smell as it's making? Depends. I grind my own beans. What do the beans look like? Some are darker, some are lighter. Sometimes you only get a partial one. Yeah, that's all fun. That takes you away from I gotta do this today, and if I don't do, maybe I can fit it in on my lunch. And that was day 10. Remember day 10? After the tactile one, the pinch me was mindful walking, which Dolly, who used to do Zen Buddhism, she got that one really quick. It's just, take your shoes off. Walk in if you have a lawn, Mr. Baker, Mr. Baker man, you have a lawn, take your shoes and socks off and walk in the lawn. Especially when it's hot outside, you'll find your lawn is nice and cool. Yeah, I really liked that one. Day 10 was my favorite. That's why I had that funny look on my face. Because day 10 was asking us, it was our day off. It was a fun exercise. Are you mindful or are you mindful? Is your mind just, like I said, full of all the things you need to do, and I wanna, and I shoulda, and I coulda, and oh my God, what's gonna happen if I don't? Or are you like the doggy going, ooh, those are cool trees. I bet you they got lots of messages. I should go check those out. That sun feels so good on my back. That's being mindful. Yeah. Clear your mind. Worrying won't stop the bad stuff from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good stuff. This was also day 10. I really want to iterate this one. Stop worrying about what's going to happen with the trial that is getting ready to really kick in. Right now, it's already getting stupid. Today, I'm looking all through YouTube going, okay, nothing's going on. Nobody's updating anything. Because that's all I do. I don't watch any, I just look at the titles and see if I want to watch. And nobody was doing anything. I was like, what's going on? They're taking Wednesdays off, hun. So I'm not worrying. I'm just definitely not looking at the red rose in the idea either. We don't realize that when we're worried and coming from our place of fear, how much that affects the people around us. Because with such negative energy, it radiates everywhere into your pets, into your computer, especially, last week, now that we're out of retrograde, Mercury was in retrograde, and that made this also the first half of this challenge even more of a challenge because we're being mindful during a time when we are supposed to be reevaluating and looking at things like this. So that happened by accident. I be honest with you, I'm a terrible procrastinator. I got these cards, I think it was the last part of February, and it was going to start it in March because there's 31 days in March, right? Yeah, well, March 5th, I went, oops, you were supposed to start that challenge thing. So I went, okay, we'll do it in April and ended on May Day, May 1st. So you so need to work on worrying. Oh, what that is, why we fall into that. I got to finish this. This is cute. Yeah, the end of it was clear your mind. While you're trying to do yoga, you're noticing that you need to have a manicure. I have ugly toes. Where's your mind at? Are you being mindful on your yoga exercise and easing your mind, or are you somewhere else? Procrastination. I can give you advice. You can. You wrote the book on it. Oh, I have learned. Did you know that is a survival method? I have always been the person people go to when their life is falling apart, and I help them put the pieces together. Well, in my life, when it starts to fall apart, it's hard for me to open up and say, hey, my life's falling apart. I need your help. So that's where I learned how to put the pieces together. I've done it so many times. It works. You're alive. That's right. Um, so what I was doing in my life before was, since I was the rescuer, I would do that to myself, even in my jobs. I would procrastinate because I knew I did my best work under pressure. And so I would intentionally, well, not subconsciously, that's the word, fibromyalgia today. Subconsciously, I am thinking that, am I going to really have to do this? I need to work this out. Yeah, Stoney's going to be 66 in May. I just turned 66 in February. So far, it's been a really interesting year. Loads of bong hits. 66 of them? I want to see you take 66 in a row. Oh, I couldn't do that. I won't challenge you to do that. I'm sorry. That's pretty bad. Oh, and I wouldn't do that to you. Oh, you guys are funny. So, did you have, after that day 10, this one is actually, this really and truly is my favorite one. Mindful waiting. 2 days before I recorded this video, Eckhart Tolle put a little blurb up on Instagram. I'm a subscriber of his, so I get something from him every day. And it was all about stop waiting. Quit your waiting. I'm going, what? Well, how do you get where you need to go? I mean, I know you're from Germany, sir, but in the United States, we gotta be professionals at waiting in line. We go everywhere you go, you gotta wait in line for something, right? No, what he was saying is flip that. Instead of looking at it as though here I am at DMV. God, I wish. Why are they so slow? Come on, you guys. I'm tired of waiting. I need to get going with my day. What he's telling you, stop waiting. Notice the moment. Watch the people. Gee, that person's clothes fit kind of funny. Stuff like that. It's a beautiful day. Whatever number you pulled at DMV, how far off are you? Okay, I can go hang out outside for a while. Enjoy the sunshine. Listen to the birds. Sunshine? What sunshine? Let's go outside in the sunshine. Go out in the sunshine and listen to the birds. The point is when you have to wait, be in the moment. Take a breath and take this moment to not think about anything in particular. Practice what you had done up until this point. Your awareness, your natural observation, your breathing. You're noticing the beauty in the sunset and the sunrise, right? So if you go outside, notice how pretty the sun is. How does it feel on you? That's mindful waiting. That's why that one is my favorite. And then the next one, mindful tasting. And I love that they used a tangerine. I love clementines. I eat those things 2 at a time. They're so good. I buy them by the flat and I eat them 2 at a time. Oh, they're so good. Yeah, that one I really liked because it tastes something that has strong flavor. And notice how your taste buds react. What happens to your saliva when you're tasting something that is maybe tart or maybe bitter? Or like if you're drinking coffee. Coffee is a strong taste, right? And if you're drinking it black, huh, Dolly, it can be kind of bitter. But there are those of us who swear by the bitter. Blueberries with whole milk. Amen, Stoney. You know what I do? Freeze those blueberries, pour your whole milk on them in the blender, and blend it up and put it back. I was telling the nurse practitioner I saw today, I'll tell you about that later, about this. I take strawberries and blueberries, peaches, whatever, frozen fruit from Walmart, and stick it in my blender with some milk and maybe a pinch of whatever you want to sweeten it with, honey or sugar, and blend that up really good so it makes like a milkshake. And then put that in the freezer. Drink half of it, put the other half in the freezer. It makes like ice cream. It is so good. Smoothie ice cream, and it's cheap. It's a lot cheaper than you can make a lot of that from a bag of blueberries and strawberries from Walmart, the frozen mix. That'd be great ice cream. You love your coffee, Jess? Yeah. You enjoyed the mindful tasting too? I actually ate tangerines for that one. That's cool. Oh, and a pickle right after that. Oh, wow. So you had two kinds of tart. That's fun. Yeah. Well, I don't add sugar. It depends on the fruit. Strawberries and blueberries don't need sugar. So I don't do that. Sometimes raspberries might need a little honey. So I'll put like a half a teaspoon of honey in there. But that's all. I'm a big honey girl. I love local raw honey. My uncle used to have hives in it. I'd love to come down and visit them because on your toast, on the table would be the hive with, I mean, the honeycomb with all the honey oozing out of it on a plate. And the plate was passed around. You put butter on your toast or your biscuit, and then you take a slice off, honeycomb and all, and you put that on your bread and you eat the whole thing. It's so good. Honeycomb is really good for your digestion. Yeah, mine's mostly fruit with just a little bit of milk. And it's kind of like a cross between sorbet and ice cream. It's so good. Yeah. Raw honey is another thing that will help you if you have, um, I'm not a doctor, but it's helped me. If you have hay fever type allergies, eat local, raw, unprocessed honey from your area. You put sugar on grapefruit? Yeah, I do too. I could eat grapefruit either way, but I'm blessed. I live in Arizona where it grows on trees and we can pick it out of the tree and peel them and eat them. They're really sweet that way. They don't have that bitter taste at all. Lemons are sweet. Peeling and eating lemons, you don't have to, well, as much. You don't have to worry about them softening the enamel on your teeth quite as much if you eat them tree ripened. What we get in the grocery store isn't fully ripe yet. First time you saw Warden Butter Your Toast was 1979. I knew she was going to be my woman forever. I love it, Stony. I love to hear you talk about her. I want to meet her one of these days, real soon. I promise. Next card was mindful melting exercise. That one I used, and I use it every night when I go to bed at night. Melt in practice with your eyes closed, starting with your toes, and relax each little muscle in your mind, telling your toes, relax this, relax my little toe, relax whatever, and work your way up your body. And as you're doing that, picture yourself just melting into your mattress. Before you get up to your head, you'll be sound asleep. I used to do that all the time. I have insomnia, and sometimes that's the only way, that and 66 bong hits is the only way I can get to sleep at night. Um, so yeah. And then there was this one, this card, which is kind of a summary of everything we've come to. The full sensory awareness. This was the one where you could actually make a table. I mean, I looked at it as though make a table and then fill in the spots on the table because it had the questions. You're supposed to look at your surroundings. Okay, this is a picture of Times Square in New York. Hectic surroundings. Try being mindful there. Ha! Yeah. Okay, this one you do right now, right now, right now. Wherever you are, look around you when it's safe to do so. If you're driving a car, it might be weird. Become aware of everything that your senses pick up. How do you feel? Do you feel happy? Do you feel excited? Do you feel overstimulated? Do you feel anxious? Just take a moment and appreciate your surroundings and notice the individual parts of your surroundings and the effect that that part is having on you. I really like this exercise because so many of us kind of just go through our day by, I know I'm horrible at this. By just putting one foot in front of the other and doing the normal, I got to do this and then this and then this and then this. Um, this this has been really good for me with my creativity because I got it back going through this energy because I can use my hand again. It's the main reason. And I was really, really stagnating. I was starting to get depressed because I can't create my pretties. I have to do art somehow, some way, somewhere. So, you live in the country. Oh, there you go. I was raised in the country. I was raised in the National Park Service. Can't get much more out in the country. And I live in the city, in Midtown, no less. But my neighborhood, the lots are really big. My particular lot is just under an acre and a quarter. I'm sorry, just under a quarter of an acre. I don't even use the back half of my property. I let the desert have it back. And as soon as I did that, all the wildlife hangs out in my yard, not in anybody else's. And I think they're all glad because they all have the manicured flowers that the frogs and stuff like frogs. I'm sorry, I looked up and I hear crickets and frogs and birds, and I picked up on the word frogs. But I have all the bunnies and stuff over here. They don't eat their plants that like their roses and stuff they've paid a lot of money on. They're eating the plants that they like to eat over here. The natural plants they're used to eating over here. Now, people would go, well, for resale value or a house, that's not really good. Uh, I forget the word. Curb appeal. There it is. I knew I'd just give me a sec there. And yeah, I'm a nature lady. They don't have hawks come and hang out at their bird bath. I have two of them. I had a pair. Hey, loco! Hi, girl. Yeah. Hawks, and they come quite often. Today, I was out watering my front yard when I came back from my oncologist appointment today, and there's been a cardinal hanging around my house. It was Saturday Solutions last week or the week before. You could hear him. He was as I was doing my reading, and I didn't have the door open, so he must have been right here in the tree. But he was on the telephone line out there while I was watering, just singing away to me. And we're supposed to get hot by we're supposed to be like 95 on Friday. And so the cardinal will leave because that's too hot for him. They're only here when it's cooler. So I'm enjoying him. He's really a neat, neat bird. Next card after our full sensory awareness. I found that kind of interesting because that was like, fill your mind up with all these things that you're noticing. And then we go into mindful hand. I love this picture because it was telling us, what are your hands doing? Go at things with a gentle touch. Grab your hands really tight and hold them for 5 or 10 seconds. Then release and pay attention to how your hands feel. Keep your attention focused on the feeling for as long as you can. Do this exercise several times throughout the day until you feel you appreciate and understand how it feels and how your body and your mind deal with it. Some of you might be, I know Stoney's old enough to remember this. Stoney and I are just a few months apart. Do you remember that when you're a kid, you put your fingers in your mouth and you bite down on your fingernails really hard, and then you do this and pull? When I read that exercise, I was like, oh my God, it's that that Chinese torture exercise we used to do as kids. Do you remember that? We were doing that, yeah. Grasp your hands and just grasp them really, really tight and keep them really, really tight. Count of 5, count of 10. And then let go. And I swear to you, my hands went, feels like they start to puff, get bigger. It was kind of fun. You remember that game? Yeah, that and the Indian sunburn. Oh, I hated it when the boys would do that. Give me an Indian sunburn. I was always a tomboy, so I played more with boys than I did with girls. I was out with my Matchbox cars and Tonka trucks and my bicycle. Always, my mom was always so mad because I'd steal her broom because Crater Lake, my backyard was the forest. I mean, for miles, miles and miles and miles. So hey, let's make some roads and have a community for our bicycles. So we made tree forts and have roads and driveways. And we just made a community back in the forest with our mother's brooms for our bicycles. It was a blast. It was so much fun. I don't know how kids get so much excitement out of sitting and playing a video game when you can go and steal your mom's broom and make a fort in a city. Anyway, this one was a hard one for me, and I'm still doing this one. As I was going through school as a writer, I had to learn, how much do you say the word I to begin a frickin' sentence? This one. Notice I. How many times a day do you say I or any form of I? Become aware of every time you use the word I in a sentence. This forces us to focus on how self-centered we are. It could be quite a shock to realize just how many times you use I. You can also keep count. Maybe surprising. Today I was texting Dolly. Oh no, that was yesterday, huh, Dolly? We were talking about this exercise. And twice in the sentence, I put the word I. So at the end of the sentence in parentheses, I put the word to. So that's my count. I find myself doing that. Life before the internet and video games was better and dangerous. Yeah, but you know what? We survived it. We did it, Benny. That's the part that kids nowadays wouldn't survive the crap that we did. Well, I think I told the story. I got in trouble by a park ranger one time, Crater Lake again. Weren't allowed to play anywhere near the sewer lagoons because you could fall in the sewer treatment ponds. You could fall in and drown, right? Well, those sewer treatment ponds also had lots of tadpoles. The frogs loved the sewer treatment ponds. So kids would go down there to catch tadpoles and raise frogs. Ooh, got caught one time. Got in lots and lots of trouble because we were not supposed to be. I didn't know nothing about E. coli and all the yuck in that water. I think I was 10. I survived just fine. And I lived in the ring of fire most of my childhood. Never felt a tremor. I moved to Tucson in 1985, and I think that was a year or two after that. My hometown in Oregon had an earthquake, destroyed a lot of the historical buildings and stuff because they were made out of brick, so they fell in. But 21 years in the ring of fire and never felt a tremor. We had geothermal heat for our house. They'd pump city water in a pipe down into a crack in the earth that was a hot vent. It was spewing steam all the time. Well, instead, that steam will plug your pipes up really quick because it's got a lot of minerals in it. So they just take a pipe and pump the city water down in and through your radiator. And that's how we had our heat. Cheap heat, didn't cost anything. All it cost was the electricity to run the pump, to pump the water down into the crack in the soil. Pretty cool, huh? And warm because it was kind of damp. So it just warmed you to the bone. It was really nice. And then we moved out, and out by the base and didn't have that heat anymore. We had a wood stove. Boy, was that different. Dry. Yeah. You ain't dead yet, me either, darling. Uh, yeah. Let's talk about today's. I want to know what you guys thought about today's exercise. Cause and effect. This is actually, like, to me, this is the most difficult we've had so far. You notice how that's how the gears work in a combustion engine or some kind of a engine there? Choose an appropriate time. An hour's good. But something longer or shorter, depending on your day, is also fine. For that time, complete cause and effect, pardon me, for everything that you do. Sounds simple. But you will be surprised how many actions you do in an hour. You'll be surprised how many actions you do in an hour that you don't even realize you're doing. The helicopters that fell from the trees. What is that? Isn't that an elm tree that has the little whirligiggies that fall? Ron! Hey, darling, good to see you. Yes. So, when you're doing this exercise, when you're doing something, pick up a pen. What happens when you pick up the pen? What is the result of picking up the pen? Ink flows to the point so that you can write, and then you can make a mark on a paper, make a scratch on a paper that makes a mark. Try to do that for everything you do today. Whoa. That would have been a fun one for me today because I put makeup on and I had to go to the doctor and all that stuff. Oh my goodness. That one, that's today. We're all caught up in current. That one, I'm still in the process of doing that one. Here's a cause and effect for you. I need some advice from you all. I have to make a tough decision. And you're my friends. I love you all. I trust and respect you all. I have been diagnosed with osteoporosis. No, I don't have cancer. I'm fine. I have osteoporosis, but I guess it's somewhat severe, I was told today. They are major concerned that if I fall, I could either break my hip or a femur. So they want me to do some medications that have me kind of scared. One of them is called Prolia, and you get it as an injection under your skin every 6 months. Thing is, with that one, once you start it, you can never go off of it. Because if you go off of it, your osteoporosis will accelerate and make your bones deteriorate faster. Yeah, sucks. So that was the one I was thinking, well, that's kind of good. You don't have to worry about dental work, bone that, because when you get teeth pulled, osteoporosis, the weak areas are your jaws, your spine, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and your feet. Because your feet, hello, I broke my foot. Your feet hold everything. Your feet, your back, your knees, and your hips. No, we're not even talking your ankles here. So anyway, the other medication, I need you to help me decide I don't know which medication to do. The other one is a once a year infusion, IV infusion, and it's called Reclast. It's also known as Zometa. If you have cancer, that is a cancer treatment drug. It's a hormone type. I believe that's what it is. Anyway, they give it for chemotherapy. But it is the most effective and I'd only have to do it once a year. However, it is so effective. It can cause bone pain, severe bone pain after the infusion for a few days. So I would get a prescription of dexamethasone. I've been on that stuff. When I had cancer, see, this is what happened today. I'm looking. Oh, look, I have wings. Sorry. I try to be all serious, but I look up and all I can see is out of my ears. I have wings. Oh, geez. Now, if I stopped the reason I would go with the Prolia because it has the least side effects in the long run. But that thing about being locked into it, if they come up with some wonderful drug, I can't take it because I'm locked into this other thing. So that's the one that's holding me back there. The reclassed Zametta is can cause a lot of pain. They have to make sure all your blood levels and everything are in normal ranges before they give it to you because it can cause high blood pressure. I already have I'm already borderline high blood pressure. And yeah, very special angel. I have a bird's head for the top of my head and wings coming out my ears. Anyway, the reclass has me concerned. I have touchy kidneys. I don't know if you guys know. I've had kidney failure. I've had renal failure in my life already once. I don't want that again. And ever since that happened to me, I have very, very sensitive kidneys. The number one thing about reclassed is it can cause kidney damage. And I already have sensitive kidneys. If I drink one diet soda, just a can of diet Pepsi, say, I get kidney pain. I mean, to the point where I'll be sitting with my hand, like where my kidney's at, because pressure on the kidney will make it stop. So they both have really good things, and they both have really scary things. Right now, I'm on Fosamax, and I take it every Wednesday. And they're saying they use that as a bridge. That one's not going to help me much. So I have to choose between one of the two evils. So I've been doing a lot of, I came home, click, 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 Harvard, click, 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 Mayo Clinic, click, 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 WebMD, doing my research. And they all of them say the same thing. Same thing the doctor told me. So yeah, I'm really thinking I'm 66 years old. Who knows what could happen in the future? Right now, that's what it is with the Prolia, that, if you stop it, it could accelerate. It's not going to kill me if I stop it. It's not going to lose my mind if I stop it. Like some medications, when you stop them abruptly, but it will make my osteoporosis worse if I stop it. But who knows what they'll come up with in the future? With AI, come on. That just hit me. Hello. It's not that hard of a decision. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you, you guys. Thanks, Jess. You're right. Your doll, you lost your dad to kidney cancer. Let me tell you, when you wake up in in intensive care because your kidneys failed, that's scary. That was the weirdest thing I've ever had happen to me. As the toxins were building up in my body, I would get trying to drink, and this is how I was doing a glass. I have to hold it on the table, and then it'd wiggle the table, and I'd have to hold it with both hands because I had tremors. And I was having those. I thought that was fibromyalgia stuff. So I was, having those, and I was like, okay, this isn't right. This isn't right. Got home, We had gone to have dinner. And when I got home from dinner, I sat in the recliner and I was watching TV and I couldn't stay awake, which isn't unusual after you have a full meal, right? Food coma. So I didn't think much of it. My mom came in and she woke me up. She said, Katie. And she couldn't. And then she came in to ask me something else. And she had to wake me up again. And she's like, well, honey, if you were that tired, go to bed. And I'm like, oh, Mom, go away. Just let me, just go away. She knew that wasn't right. That wasn't right. So she made me get up and go lay down on the bed. And then I kept drifting off like that. And she's like, I don't like this, Katie. She says, should I call 911? And I'm like, Mom, you do whatever you want. Not like me. So she called 911. And oh, believe me, I woke right up. 5 handsome paramedics and firemen all standing around my bed. Yeah, I woke up. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But by the time they got me to the emergency room, I was all alert and awake and talking to the doctors and the nurses. And my hospital at the time is the trauma center here. The trauma came in and they needed the exam room I was in. So they asked me, wrap me up in a nice warm blanket. And I seemed to be alert and okay. Asked me if I didn't mind waiting in the waiting area for a little while they sorted the rooms out better to get me in a different room. And I woke up in intensive care. I passed out in the waiting area, sitting in the wheelchair, just slid right on out. Yeah. So that was a weird night. I got woke up in intensive care because lightning hit the doorway of the emergency room, which was just underneath intensive care. It was like I got woke up with a bang for sure. That was crazy. What a night. What a night. They asked me things like, do you know where you are? Yeah, I'm at the hospital. I could say that. And they said, what hospital? The, uh, it wouldn't come out my mouth. My brain is screaming, UMC! University Medical Center! And it wouldn't come out my mouth. Then they asked me, do you know what the date is? And yeah, I could say the date. I'd probably written it 20 times that day. And then, who's the president? And I'm going, Obama. In my head, I'm going, Obama. And I'm going, I couldn't get it out of my mouth. And it was the toxins building up in me because my kidneys had shut down that caused my brain to stop being able to connect to my mouth and stuff. That was the freakiest thing. It was like, why can't I say this? My brain is screaming it at me, but it just wouldn't come out. Last time you smoked weed, that happened to you? Oh, I've been there when I was 19 years old, smoked weed and smoked so much at a party one night I couldn't couldn't move. I'm going to change the record. Ooh, I'm like dating yourself. Went to change the vinyl on the turntable, and when I went to sit back up again, I just folded my arms and started giggling because my body wouldn't sit back again. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really weird experience. So I don't ever want to repeat that. That was in 2010, and it was caused by medication that I was on. Now I have not on that medication. As a matter of fact, it's in my allergies. Do not give it to me. I took it for 15 years, and then all of a sudden one night it decided, nope, nope, nope. We're going to relax your kidneys so much they're going to sleep. And that's what they did. Really scared me though. Because I'd already been through cancer. I'd already survived cancer, and then I had renal failure. Crazy. So yeah, I don't. I'm showing you this thing. It's full of water. I don't know how many of these I drink a day. I have a 20-cup zero water pitcher, and I fill that thing probably 3 times a day. I drink so much water. Oh, yeah, and it goes right through me. But when I was on chemotherapy, I was told I ended up in the hospital because my electrolytes went so low that um, once again I passed out. And well, they told me to drink a lot of water. So I was making sure I drank like 2 gallons of water a day. You can overdose on water. You can't overdose on pot, but you can overdose on water. You literally can. It'll flush all your electrolytes out and your heart will stop if you drink too much water. I didn't know. I was just doing what they said. Drink lots of water, so I drink lots of water. I love water, so I love good water. I'm real picky about my water. I grew up in national parks, where I grew up drinking creek water before creeks were full of beaver fever. And that was our drinking water. So, and it wasn't treated. It didn't have chlorine, ammonia, and all that other stuff in it that they put in it. And here, this water here in Tucson is, it's bad because we're at the bottom of the Central Arizona Project water allotment canal. The water that comes from the Colorado River. Phoenix gets it before we do. We're at the bottom, so we get all the dredge water. And in that canal, there's cars, dead animals. So, yeah, I don't like Tucson water. But you know what? Tucson water is better than Phoenix water. Phoenix water, unfiltered, is really, really salty. And ice cubes look like this. They don't even get in, they don't get clear. They're like this. So if you live in Phoenix, everybody in Phoenix has, Sparklets or one of those water companies, or they have reverse osmosis units, that kind of thing, because the water's awful. Yeah, Lake Michigan girl, water's not a problem for you. Back to being mindful. Also, Vanessa, if you are here, hi. That was my nurse, my PA today. She wanted to check out what this is all about because she is thinking that for cancer patients, it's perfect. I've done the whole thing from start to finish, and it's absolutely perfect for people with health issues, with mental issues, because there's not a single exercise or task in this whole challenge that is going to back you in a corner and make you feel uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, they all make you feel pretty damn powerful. I really am excited for you to see the second half. Yeah. Yeah, Gatorade rocks. Hey, you guys, I don't know. Yes, I live where Mexican food is everywhere, but I love Taco Bell, okay? You know how to make a berry blast? The Baja Blast. It's really simple. You guys are talking about Gatorade, reminded me. Oh, you're welcome. Gatorade. A third, if you want to make it, however much you're going to make. I'm going to tell you, go ahead and make it in an empty 2-liter soda bottle. It's 1/3 Sprite, 1/3 blue Gatorade, and 1/3 green Mountain Dew. That's it. That's it. I promise you, that is exactly a berry blast. It is so good. That's why go ahead and put it in a 2-liter bottle because you'll drink it. I promise. It's really. The last person I told to try it, she was like, "Oh, that's terrific!" And I saw it on a short on YouTube. So, hey, you never know what you're gonna learn, right? It is. It's and you can freeze it. They make that into a slush. I'm spoiled though. Here we have this place that specializes in suburbs, Started to say suburb sandwiches. Subway sandwiches. Kind of, oh my God, delicatessen type sandwiches. And they have slushes made with fruit, with real fruit. And it's only in Tucson, and the people of Tucson don't know how to do summer without EGs. Uh, yeah. Good luck with that. I want to know the lobby that got aspartame put in every single diet drink, even though it causes water on the brain. That's equal. Stay away from that crap. It literally can cause water on your brain. And DA don't care. Sprite, Blue Gatorade, and Mountain Dew. 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Can't forget that. It's so easy and it's good. Yeah, really, really good. It's terrible. Terrible stuff. Aspartame. Oh, that's another one. See, I can't. That's my kidneys. I can't. I can't. Um, when there's so many good alternatives that are natural, I can do stevia, and I can do monk fruit sweeteners. No problem. Well, of course, and I can do aloe, but or agave syrup. Did you know agave syrup is worse for diabetics than white processed sugar? Stay away from it. Don't use it at all. I'm just telling you, that's what I learned in diabetic school as a diabetic. Don't. Stay away from that. Uh, and they marketed it as an alternative, a healthy alternative to the kind of sweeteners, fake sweeteners. Yeah. I usually try to find, if I need something sweet or I'm making something that's sweet, unless I need the sugar for a binder, um, I'll search the internet and try to find other things. Like certain fruits are sweeter than others because you learn that in diabetic class too. Bananas. Watch your bananas if you're diabetic. They're loaded with sugar, but they're also really good for you because of the potassium and stuff that's in them. Just don't eat a lot of them. Don't eat a lot of oranges. As a diabetic, when I would get in, when I was an insulin diabetic, now I'm just diet controlled. I lost 120 pounds. Kind of helps. um, but when I was a full on insulin diabetic, where I had to take insulin shots, when I would start to get the shakes, it was like, "Ooh, you better move, go get it." First thing I do is head for the orange juice. And if we didn't have any orange juice, I'd head for the sugar bowl, a spoonful of sugar, because you got to get it back like that, or you're going to start passing out and doing stupid stuff. You eat a banana twice a week, tangerines maybe twice a week, and apples. Those are awesome. I get all of that. I discovered Lara bars. Oh my God, they're good. Told Dolly about them. Got her buying the chocolate ones. I get the fruit ones. Right now, I have that's called pineapple upside down cake. It's pineapple. It only has 3 ingredients, and it's a fruit bar. I should go get one and open it and show it to you. It's a fruit bar, and it's made. The 3 ingredients in this thing is almonds, pineapple, and dates. That's it. That's it. All chopped and mushed together. And it's so natural. Once in a while, you get a piece of the outside of the pineapple or the inside core of the pineapple. But that's okay. I eat that anyway. It's not hurting you. Actually, the true way you should eat a pineapple is nothing like how we eat it. They have that little funny medallion shape because you're supposed to reach in there, and that's where the seeds are. That's where the sweetest part is. You reach in there and pull that out, and that's how you're supposed to eat pineapple. I didn't know that. I just learned that on YouTube. Amazing the stuff you learn on YouTube. I love pineapple. Let me go get one of those bars. I'll be right back. Take a look at my Mexican shower curtain. I'll be right back. I just brought the whole container in. I love these things. I store everything in my kitchen in these. And I have to store my flour in the refrigerator because here it gets so warm that the bugs like weevils and stuff in your dry goods, in your pastas and stuff, they hatch. They won't in your kitchen, in your refrigerator. That's the Larabar. See, they're not real super big. Just 3 real ingredients. Pineapple upside down cake. There's no cake in it at all. There's no added sugar. They're just literally dates, almonds, and that's what they look like. I'll just open it for you. See, that's all there is to it. And they're soft, like a brownie. They're really good. They're so good. I mean, I eat at least one a day. That's my snack now. And they're healthy because they don't have a lot of sugar in them. And what sugar's there is coming from the dates and the pineapple. The other ones I had were mainly apple was the back. Apple, dates, and blueberries. The other one was apple and dates. Oh, cashews were the nuts that I got in the mixed fruit variety that had blueberry ones. They were good. They were really good, the blueberry ones. So far, my favorite are the blueberries and the pineapples. I haven't tried the chocolate. I gotta try the chocolate ones. Yeah, oh yeah. Dates, that's the sugar. Ah, I love you, Benny. Drive careful, sweetheart. And we'll see you later. My dear, let's come and hang out together. Let's do a live stream, pick a night, what's good for both of us, and just have some fun. I think that sounds like fun. We had such a good time last time you were on my channel. I want to do it again. We can talk about what you're discovering in your desert spooky stuff. I love it. Have a good trip, sweetheart. I love cashews too. That's my favorite nut, actually. Cashews and pistachios. I got spoiled with pistachios. I used to work for Arizona Pistachio. When you come to Arizona, there are 2 things that the souvenir places really push at you. One is prickly pear candy, which, by the way, if you haven't tried it, if you like black cherry, I highly recommend. Prickly pear anything. Prickly pear jelly, prickly pear candy. I love stuff made out of prickly pear. It's really good. And the other thing that they push at you are stuff made out of chilies. Or, weird combination. Like I have a marinade that's raspberries, chipotle seasoning. I'm trying to think what else. It's really hot and really sweet. Well, we are over an hour, so it's about that time. I, you know, I had a busy day today, and I thank you guys for listening to me about the medication, by the way. You kind of helped me decide what I'm going to do. And I think I'm going to go with the 6-month deal instead of the infusion where I got to end up getting a whole bunch of other drugs and stuff in me. It doesn't make sense. I'll lock into this for life until they have something better. And you know me, they're going to have something better. So I love you guys. You come back. We'll see you tomorrow for day 18. And on May 1st, we're going to do this again. 5:30. I'll see you then. And in the meantime, come hang out with me on Monday mornings. I really have been enjoying uplifting everybody on Mondays because Mondays are usually my hardest day. So I needed the uplifting myself. I'm tired. I can't talk. My fibromyalgia's cooking in. So cooking in, not kicking in, cooking in. See? Oh, yeah. Cognitive things are so much fun. You guys have a good night. And, hang in there. Be mindful. When you find yourself worrying, Jess, look at what you've got. Be so grateful for what you have that the universe can only give you 10 times more. That's how you manifest it. You guys make kindness a habit. Do a random act of kindness. Just buy somebody a cup of coffee. Not at Starbucks where they're $10, but I mean, you know, do something nice for somebody. We'll see you then. Well, take care, everybody. And let me see if I can get an outro to play. We'll see you next time. Bye bye now.